Welcome, beloved Phoenix. You have followed the thread back to its origin, to the place where memory aches and meaning has been waiting patiently. The wisdom flame before you is ancient. It does not judge, it reveals. Step closer. Let the truth rise.
You're here. You're standing in the middle of what feels like wreckage, right? A heartbreak, a betrayal, the future you thought you had, just gone. And there's this really awful, nagging feeling deep down, a voice that's telling you, this isn't the first time this has happened.
Yeah, that feeling that you've been here before. It's like you're stuck in this awful loop, reliving the exact same story, just with a different person. That's what we're going to get into. This is what some people call a tower moment, when everything you thought was solid just comes crashing down around you. But here's the thing, and this is so important. It is not a random event. There is a reason this keeps happening.
And to get to that reason, we have to ask a really, really hard question. It's not, why did they hurt me? The question that actually matters, the one that gets to the very heart of the pain, is this. Why did I choose them? Now, let's be super clear. This isn't about blaming yourself. Not at all. It's about finally understanding a deep, subconscious pattern. So, let's decode the mechanics of that choice together.
All right, Section 1, the brain's survival wiring. Okay, so where does the answer to that question live? Well, first, let me tell you where it doesn't live. It's not because you're broken. It's not because you're not trying hard enough. This is not some kind of personal failing. The answer is actually in your brain's most fundamental wiring. It's this powerful, ancient mechanism that's designed for one thing and one thing only. And that mechanism has a name. Psychologists call it repetition compulsion. It's this unconscious tendency we have to repeat traumatic events or situations. Now, you're probably thinking, why on earth would anyone do that? And that's the key. It's not because we secretly enjoy the pain. It's because some deep, hidden part of us is desperately trying to go back and finally win a battle that we lost a long, long time ago. Okay, this slide really breaks it down. Your nervous system, it has a priority list, and happiness is not at the top. It's just not designed for joy or peace. What it is designed for is survival, safety, and this is the big one, familiarity. See, your brain's #1 job is to keep you alive, not to make you happy. And to that ancient primal part of your brain, whatever is familiar feels safe, even if that familiar feeling is pain. It will always choose the devil it knows over the angel it doesn't.
So how does something painful get wired into us as familiar? Well, it all starts way back in childhood. Let's say the emotional climate in your home wasn't so great. Maybe love was conditional, maybe it was full of anxiety, or it just felt cold. Your little kid brain doesn't have anything else to compare it to, so it creates a map. And on that map, that emotional chaos gets labeled home. It gets labeled love. And so fast forward to you as an adult. Your subconscious isn't out there scanning the world for someone who is kind or stable or healthy. No way. It's scanning for a match to that old map. It's looking for the person who feels familiar, which really means it's looking for the person who presents the exact same problem you never got to solve as a kid.
Section 2, the fixer's mission. Right, so this subconscious hunt for the familiar isn't just a passive thing. It actually leads us to take on a very specific and totally exhausting role in our relationships. We stop just looking for a partner. Instead, we're basically embarking on a mission.
And here is the mission statement, right here. This is the subconscious logic that's running the show. It's your inner child desperate for a do-over. The thought process goes something like this. Okay, if I can just find someone with that same familiar chaos, and if this time I can be perfect enough or loving enough or good enough, maybe I can fix them. And if I can fix them, then maybe, just maybe, I'll finally heal my own wound from back then. I'll finally get the love I never got.
And this whole drive, this mission to fix someone else, even at your own expense, it actually has a clinical name. Psychology calls this the Fawn Response. It's one of the classic trauma responses right up there with fight, flight, and freeze. And fawning is what happens when we learn as kids that the safest thing to do is to just abandon our own needs, forget our boundaries, and do whatever it takes to appease the people around us to keep them calm. So what does this actually look like in real life? Well, it looks like becoming the golden child, the one who never causes any trouble just to keep the peace. It looks like sacrificing your own happiness just to keep other people calm. You abandon yourself to try and stabilize them. You pour all of your light, all of your energy, all of your stability into your partner, hoping you can fix them. And after a while, something really dangerous happens. You start to believe that this constant self-betrayal is what love is supposed to feel like.
But, and you need to hear this, you absolutely have to let this sink in. This mission is impossible. It cannot be done. You cannot ever heal someone who benefits from you being wounded. Think about it. You can't fix a person who, whether they know it or not, needs you to stay small and quiet and focused on their needs, never your own. And that right there is why that tower moment we talked about is so unbelievably important. That devastating, soul-crushing heartbreak, it is not a punishment. It's not a sign you failed. It's a purge. It's an intervention from the deepest part of you. It's your soul finally screaming at the top of its lungs that it cannot take it anymore. It's your system purging a pattern that was, quite literally, slowly killing you. Okay, last section. The question that breaks spells. So, once you see the pattern, right? Once you understand the brain wiring and this whole fixer's mission, how in the world do you break the spell? Well, it comes down to asking yourself a new question, the right question.
But before we get to the question, we have to absorb this one final truth. This is the core lesson of that whole painful purge. You cannot heal your wound by repeating it. I'm going to say that again. You cannot heal your wound by repeating it. You can't fix what happened to you as a child by choosing a partner who makes you feel the exact same way as an adult. The only way to heal it is to finally choose differently.
And this is the question that breaks the spell. From now on, in every choice you make about who you let close to you, who you give your energy to, ask yourself this. Am I choosing this out of desire, or am I choosing this out of trauma? Is this a real, genuine desire for connection with this person, or is it just that old, familiar pull of the wound, the siren song of the fixer's mission? Just asking yourself that question, that's the first step. And with that one question, you are finally beginning to wake up.
You have stood in the wisdom flame and you remain changed, not by force, but by understanding. Subscribe to this channel so the wisdom flame can find you again. Follow us on our official social media, where wisdom moves between episodes, and visit our store with the link on the description for rituals, guides, and tools to deepen your work. We will return to the wisdom flame again. Until then, beloved Phoenix,